The afternoon sun painted the sky of Hangzhou with soft shades of orange and pink, reflecting on the tranquil waters of West Lake. Mei Lin walked slowly through the park by the lake, her soft steps echoing on the stone path. The air was filled with the scent of lotus flowers, bringing a sense of peace and serenity. Suddenly, the distant sound of music and laughter broke the contemplative silence. Intrigued, Mei Lin followed the sound, her curious eyes searching for the source. As she turned a bend in the path, she came upon an unusual scene. A young man with tanned skin and a radiant smile, performing fluid and graceful movements she had never seen before. His movements were a dance, a fight, an expression of freedom that captivated everyone around. A small crowd had formed, watching in fascination. Mei Lin felt immediately drawn, not just to the beauty of the movements, but to the contagious energy emanating from the artist. The moment of enchantment was abruptly interrupted when two authoritative figures approached, their serious faces contrasting with the cheerful atmosphere. They were park guards, and their raised voices clearly indicated that something was wrong. The artist, clearly foreign, was trying to explain himself in hesitant and broken Chinese. Mei Lin felt an irresistible urge to help. Without thinking twice, she stepped forward, her calm and polite voice rising above the tumult. "Can I help? I'm an interpreter," she offered, surprising herself with her boldness. The guards, initially skeptical, backed off a bit in the face of Mei Lin's elegant and confident presence. She translated the artist's explanations, smoothing cultural edges with her natural diplomacy. Gradually, the tension dissipated, and the guards, satisfied with the explanations, walked away with a friendly warning. The artist, relieved and grateful, turned to Mei Lin with a smile that lit up his entire face. "Thank you so much," he said in English, his voice laden with sincerity. "My name is Rafael." "Mei Lin," she replied, feeling a slight blush on her cheeks. "What were you doing? It's fascinating." "This is capoeira," Rafael explained, his eyes shining with passion. "It's a Brazilian martial art that mixes dance, fighting, and music." In the days that followed, Mei Lin couldn't get Rafael and his capoeira out of her head. She found herself reliving the encounter, the grace of the movements, the warm smile. Determined to know more, she returned to the park, secretly hoping to find him again. To her delight, Rafael was there, practicing alone under the shade of an ancient tree. Seeing her, his face lit up with a smile of recognition. They began to talk, and Mei Lin discovered that Rafael was having difficulties establishing himself as an artist in Hangzhou due to local bureaucracy and cultural barriers. Without hesitation, Mei Lin offered to help. "I know the rules and have some contacts that can make things easier," she said, surprised by her own boldness. Rafael gratefully accepted the offer, and so began a partnership that would soon transform into something deeper. In the weeks that followed, Mei Lin and Rafael met frequently. Officially, they were working on documents and strategies to establish Rafael as an artist in the city, but each encounter brought new discoveries about each other's life and culture. Rafael taught Mei Lin the basic movements of capoeira, gently laughing at her clumsy attempts. She, in turn, guided him through the secrets of Hangzhou, showing him hidden temples and the best places to try local cuisine. On a particularly pleasant afternoon, while practicing capoeira by the lake, Rafael was demonstrating a more complex movement. Suddenly, he lost his balance, and instinctively, Mei Lin reached out to support him. Their fingers intertwined, and for a moment, time seemed to stop. The touch, though accidental, sent an electric current through both of them. Their gazes met, and at that instant, something changed. The air between them became charged with a new and exciting energy. Without words, both realized that what they felt went beyond friendship. Mei Lin's happiness was evident to everyone around her. She walked with new vigor, her eyes shining with an inner light. However, this change did not go unnoticed by her traditional family. One night during a family dinner, her father cleared his throat, a clear sign that something serious was coming. "Mei Lin," he began, his voice grave, "we have noticed your frequent outings. Who is this foreigner you've been spending so much time with?" Mei Lin felt her heart race. She knew this moment would come, but she didn't expect it so soon. Taking a deep breath, she decided to be honest. "His name is Rafael, father. He's a Brazilian artist, and I'm helping him establish himself in Hangzhou." Her mother intervened, concern evident in her voice. "Daughter, you need to think about your future, our family. This, Rafael, he's not suitable. He doesn't know our traditions, our culture." For the first time in her life, Mei Lin felt a wave of rebellion growing inside her. "Rafael is a good and honest man," she said, her voice trembling slightly but firm. "He respects me and makes me happy. Isn't that what matters?" The silence that followed was heavy. Her father looked at her with a mixture of surprise and disapproval. "You are young, Mei Lin," he finally said. "You don't know what's best for you. Think carefully before risking everything for a foreigner." Her father's words weighed on Mei Lin in the days that followed. She felt torn between the love growing for Rafael and the deep respect she had for her family and traditions. Each encounter with Rafael now carried a bittersweet flavor, a mixture of joy and apprehension. It was in this moment of emotional turbulence that fate decided to throw another challenge. Rafael received a call from Brazil. His mother was ill, needing urgent care. The dilemma was clear in his eyes when he told Mei Lin the news. "I need to go," he said, his voice heavy with sadness. "But I promise I'll come back. What we have is too special to let go." The farewell at the airport was a moment of intense emotions. Mei Lin fought against tears as Rafael hugged her tightly. "Wait for me," he whispered. "I'll come back to you, no matter what happens." As she watched the plane take off, taking Rafael back to Brazil, Mei Lin felt as if a part of herself was leaving too. The days that followed were a test of strength and patience. She threw herself into work, trying to fill the void left by Rafael. However, the universe seemed to have other plans. Li Wei, a former suitor approved by her family, began to appear more frequently. Polite, successful, and deeply rooted in Chinese culture, he represented everything Mei Lin's parents wanted for her. Family pressure increased, subtly at first with casual comments about Li Wei's qualities, and then more directly. "Think about your future, Mei Lin," her mother insisted. "Li Wei can offer stability, respect. He understands our traditions." Mei Lin felt increasingly cornered. Rafael's calls and messages, though frequent at first, began to decrease as he dealt with his mother's situation in Brazil. The distance and silence fed her doubts and insecurities. It was during a dinner at Li Wei's house, organized by her parents, that fate decided to intervene once again. As Li Wei talked about his plans for the future, clearly including Mei Lin in them, the doorbell rang. Mei Lin's heart almost stopped when she saw Rafael standing at the door, tired from the journey, but with determination in his eyes. "Sorry for the intrusion," he said, looking directly at Mei Lin, "but I promised I'd come back." The silence that followed was deafening. Li Wei stood up, his posture tense. "Who are you?" he asked, though his tone suggested he already knew the answer. Rafael, keeping his calm, replied, "My name is Rafael. I've come from far away to be with Mei Lin, if she still wants me." Rafael's words triggered a torrent of emotions in Mei Lin. All the moments they shared, the laughter, the discoveries, the gentle touch of their hands, everything came back with crystal clarity. Standing up, Mei Lin walked to Rafael, ignoring the shocked looks around her. "You came back," she said softly, touching his face as if to make sure he was real. "I promised I would," Rafael responded, his smile lighting up the entire room. "I realize that no matter where I am in the world, my heart is here, with you." Turning to face her family and Li Wei, Mei Lin spoke with a conviction that surprised even herself. "I know you want the best for me," she began, "but the best for me is to be with someone who loves me for who I am, who challenges me to grow, and who is willing to cross oceans to be by my side." The silence that followed was broken by Mei Lin's father. "Daughter," he said, his voice softer than she had ever heard, "I now see the strength of your heart. Perhaps we were wrong in trying to choose your path." Those words were like a blessing, paving the way for a new chapter in Mei Lin and Rafael's life. In the days and weeks that followed, they worked together to build a life together, facing challenges, but also celebrating every small victory. Rafael finally managed to establish himself as an artist in Hangzhou, blending capoeira with elements of Chinese culture in his performances. His shows in the park, where it all began, now attracted crowds, symbolizing the beautiful union of two cultures. Mei Lin's family gradually began to see Rafael with new eyes. They saw how he strived to learn Mandarin, how he respected traditions while bringing the joy and spontaneity of his own culture. On a quiet afternoon sitting by Westlake, Mei Lin and Rafael reflected on their journey. "You know," said Rafael, holding Mei Lin's hand, "when I came to China, I was looking for an adventure. I never imagined I would find the love of my life." Mei Lin smiled, resting her head on his shoulder. "And I never thought I would find my freedom and my strength in someone from so far away." The sun was setting on the horizon, painting the sky with vibrant colors, a spectacle that seemed to celebrate their love. Mei Lin and Rafael knew that the future still held challenges, but they were ready to face them together, hand in hand and with hearts full of love. Their story became a symbol of hope in Hangzhou, proving that when love is true, it can truly transcend worlds, unite cultures, and create something beautiful and lasting.